Hello, I'm Robert Floden, Dean of the College of Education. The hooding ceremony for doctoral graduates is a long and cherished tradition in our college. We take this moment to reflect on the incredible accomplishments of scholars during their time at Michigan State University and to celebrate the new and challenging responsibilities they will soon take on. We wish we could be honoring our new PhD recipients in person this spring. Although the COVID-19 pandemic continues to pose challenges, we hope that you and your loved ones are staying healthy and safe and that you will enjoy this commemorative video to honor your achievements. The College of Education takes pride in its graduates, and we hope that you will take pride in the quality of the highly ranked programs you are completing. The college is widely respected because of the faculty, staff, students, and alumni who represent it so well around the world. As doctoral students, you have been key contributors to the missions of our college, and more importantly, you are the ones who will carry this work into the future. The pandemic has made apparent the challenges you will face and the ways you will overcome them are difficult to predict. I'm proud of what you have already accomplished and feel confident that the future is in good hands. Thank you for all you have done for our college community and the ways you will go on to help your own schools, colleges, and communities in powerful ways. Thank you, and go green.
MSU College of Education, Spring Doctoral Convocation 2021. Let us recognize candidates in the Department of Educational Administration, chaired by Dr. Shanika Williams. First, we will honor those graduating from the PhD program in Education Policy. Tanner DELPIER. Tanner is an outstanding researcher, an organized self-starter, and treasured thought partner. He is exceptionally adroit at quantitative data analysis and visualization, and skilled in qualitative methods. With advisor Dr. David Arson, Tanner co-authored Michigan School Finance at the Crossroads, producing the report's most important findings and receiving wide attention in Michigan policy circles. His dissertation was a mixed method study of the consequences of school closures. It combined sophisticated statistical analyses of school closures' adverse impact on nearby home values, with interviews of residents and public officials that gave compelling expressions to the losses community members experience when their neighborhood school closes. Tanner will remain deeply engaged in Michigan education policy as the Michigan Education Association's labor economist. He would like to thank Ellen DELPIER and Dr. Arson. Pauline MBESA WAMBUA. Pauline worked on a fascinating dissertation examining the implications of policies on educational access and learning in East Africa. Her scholarship is shaped by her own experiences growing up in rural Kenya and her decision to commit her career to improving educational opportunities for all children in Kenya and beyond. Pauline came to MSU as part of the prestigious MasterCard Foundation Fellows Program. In addition to her PhD, she completed a graduate specialization in international development and gathered many valuable experiences at MSU. Pauline wishes to acknowledge everyone who has supported her, especially her doctoral committee. The greatest thanks for her success go to her mother, her late father, and her son Tony, who is a junior in high school in Kenya. Tony has sacrificed his mother's physical presence so she could go to school herself. Pauline is proud to share today's success with Tony. Danielle Sanderson Edwards. Danielle is completing a remarkable career as an education policy student. Her groundbreaking work on the ways in which students' residential locations affect educational equity and access is at the forefront of new national research on geography and student opportunity. She has already published 2 peer-reviewed papers in major academic journals, including Educational Evaluation and Policy Analysis, the premier journal in her field. In addition to her research, Danielle served on student organizations in the College of Education, taught as a course assistant, and mentored many fellow doctoral students. She plans on an academic career at a research university, toward which she takes her next step this fall as a postdoctoral fellow at Brown University. She would like to thank her husband, David Edwards, her parents, Mandy and Dan Sanderson, and her committee, especially advisor Josh Cohen. Now here are the candidates from the EDD program in Educational Leadership. SIRRITA DARBY. SIRRITA describes herself as a social justice educator, a revolutionist, and a dream manifester. She and her dissertation of practice partner, Chris, have created an important work called Cultural Taxation of Black Teachers in K-12 Academia. This work makes sense of the ways in which Black teachers carry an extra load related to their racial identities, and contains important insights and implications for school leaders, teachers, and teacher preparation programs. This work exemplifies all that dissertations in practice are supposed to be. She plans to continue to work with young people in movement spaces fighting for education justice for marginalized communities. She would like to thank God, her family, friends, students, and her son. We are looking forward to what SIRRITA will do next. Todd Stevens. Todd is an assistant principal at Lakeshore Public Schools. His dissertation explored the effects of parent decision-making and choice in the school community. Reflecting on his doctoral experience, Todd believes that his learning at MSU has helped him to become a better educator. He is committed to serving students and teachers with understanding and enthusiasm, and plans to continue working in educational administrative positions. Todd says the faculty have given him more than he could possibly thank them for. He is grateful to have been part of the EDD program. As Todd celebrates his graduation, he would like to thank his wife, his 2 boys, his parents, and his cohort. James YAKE. James is the Director of Health, Safety, and Nutrition for the Genesee Intermediate School District. In reflecting on his learning as a doctoral student, James writes, "Over the past 3 years, our cohort has experienced life, death, loss, and the isolation of a global pandemic. Each member has showed an inspiring level of resilience, passion, and commitment. I have learned so much from my colleagues and professors and feel grateful for my experience here. I look forward to continuing to grow as a practitioner. Most importantly, I look forward to serving my community as a better person, educator, leader, father, and husband." As James celebrates his graduation, he would like to thank his Savior Jesus Christ, his wife Melissa, who has given so much, and his parents Jim and Judy, who taught him so much. Kelly Anderson. Kelly would like to thank her dissertation teammates, advisor, family, and colleagues for supporting her through this journey. She would especially like to thank her husband, Mike. Kelly looks forward to working in politics and policy to help make school work for all children and bring about a more equitable system for children and families. She hopes her work on virtual educator networks contributes to a changing climate in education in which educators are valued for the knowledge they share with one another. Her advisor, Chris Torres, was in awe of her team's collaborative spirit and all they were able to accomplish in the middle of a pandemic, in the face of adversity, and while navigating major life and job changes. Their collective spirit and response to feedback was special to behold, and he looks forward to celebrating with them in real life. Ken W. Horne, Jr. Ken is a transformational and values-driven educational leader with approximately 10 years of post-baccalaureate experience working in higher education in the areas of housing and residence life, student services, and academic affairs. He strives to make a difference in the lives of all students and advocates for policies and practices that support the inclusion and support of students from underrepresented backgrounds. Along with his formal education, his professional experiences have prepared him to take on progressive leadership roles. Ken will continue to work in higher education and has plans to transition to local politics. Born and raised in Chicago, he lives in Lansing with his wife Allison, their daughter Everly, and their French bulldog Sophia. They are eagerly awaiting the arrival of baby Brooks in July 2021. He is grateful to his family for the sacrifices they have made along his educational journey. JOHNITA Ray Porter. After surviving a near-fatal car accident in 2017, JOHNITA decided to pursue her professional dream of obtaining a doctorate degree. She is truly grateful to God, her husband, her mother, and her 3 children, Tevis, AJ, and Sophia, for their support and encouragement. She would also like to dedicate this degree to her father-in-law, James Porter, who passed away 1 year ago due to COVID-19. JOHNITA aspires to publicize the Virtual Educator Network's research by presenting at conferences and publishing her group's findings. She would also like to open a school and continue to advocate for youth with special needs. In this regard, she'd like to give a shout-out to her brother. If it weren't for him, she would have never started on the journey of advocacy. JOHNITA also hopes to work in higher ed. Angela Hards. Angie has been a leader, efficient, thoughtful, and committed. Her willingness to learn and be uncomfortable in that process exemplifies the spirit of the doctorate in educational leadership. Together with her dissertation in practice team, she created a study titled Mentoring and the Impact on Novice Educators. This study provides insights into the practices and supports necessary for successful mentoring experiences at the K-12 level and in higher education, which is critical to the retention of new teachers in Michigan. We are excited to see where this work takes them and how they are going to apply it to their own sites and practice. Angie plans to continue using her leadership skills to promote education systems that provide continuous opportunities for improvement and success. She would like to thank her advisors, her husband Preston, and her sons, Preston and Michele, and her parents and sister for telling her she had to go to college. Persistence pays off. Chris Cadogan. Chris is always questioning, and looking for answers. In many ways, he manifests what lifelong learners should be, a constant quest for information. This is embodied in the dissertation of practice he created with his DIP partner, SIRRITA. Together, they created an important work titled Cultural Taxation of Black Teachers in K-12 Academia. This work makes sense of the ways in which Black teachers carry an extra load related to their racial identities and contains important insights and implications for school leaders, teachers, and teacher preparation programs. This work exemplifies all that dissertations in practice are supposed to be. In time, we believe Chris will find the answers he is looking for, and there is zero doubt that he will stop asking questions. He serves as principal at Geyer Park Elementary School and plans to continue this role. He would like to thank his wife, Stacy, his daughters, Noelle and Estelle, his parents, Debbie, James, and Anthony, and his church family. Jessica BILODEAU. Jessica and her group have done important work on mentoring that is interesting on its own merits and has important applications for their work and the work of others in K-12 and higher education settings. It very much embodies the goal of the EDD program to produce work that uses and contributes to research and practice. Jessica has been a real force on the project, spearheading the higher education portion. She has been a joy to work with these past years, and we look forward to many years of impact from Jessica using the tools she honed with peers in the program. She plans to continue working at Michigan State University, impacting students who attend pre-college programs. Jessica would like to thank her husband, Sean, her mom and dad, other family and friends, her DIP group, and her advisors for their support and encouragement. Ken Wright. During the past 3 years, Ken has been on point as both a school leader and a student. His experiences with his dissertation in practice team, Elena, Jessica, and Angie, represent what these groups are intended to be, a bonding experience rooted in the creation of new knowledge. Together, they have created a study titled Mentoring and the Impact on Novice Educators. This study provides important insights into the practices and supports necessary for successful mentoring experiences at the K-12 level and in higher education, which is critical to the retention of new teachers in Michigan. We are excited to see how they will apply this work to their own sites and practice. Ken would like to thank his wife, Jessica, his children, Savannah, Callum, and Luke, his parents, Tom, Bonnie, Bill, Lori, and Vicky, and the Grand Ledge professional community for helping him to accomplish this goal. Alina Eunice Zachary-Ross. Alina's commitment to her students, her professionalism, contributions to class, and ability to balance her many identities on a day-to-day basis have all been impressive. Together with her dissertation in practice group, Angie, Jessica, and Ken, she created a study titled Mentoring and Its Impact on the Novice Educator. This work has important insights into how mentorship works and does not work in K-12 and higher education settings, and provides recommendations for what conditions may improve it. These findings are important because retention of new teachers is a key issue in Michigan. Alina plans to continue serving as superintendent of Ypsilanti schools while also developing AZR Leads, a leadership, speaking, coaching, and consulting company. She would like to thank her family, her mother, Ruby, husband, Quentin, children, Lena and Cordell, and colleagues. She is grateful to Dr. Tara Chambers for encouraging her to apply for the program. Now here are the candidates from the PhD program in Higher Adult and Lifelong Education. Jodie Michelle Beckley. Jodie's dissertation is one of the first to focus on understanding perspectives of women who are both leaders and followers at a level of the organization most responsible for implementing policy and change. As Director of Continuing Education and Professional Development at Schoolcraft College, she is an example of the strong women she studied who will continue to make a difference for community colleges and their constituents. Jodie commuted and worked full-time throughout her program, never missing a beat despite changing jobs during a pandemic. She also published a piece on gender and mid-level community college leadership. Jodie is grateful for the opportunity to obtain a PhD. Without the support of her husband, parents, her employer, and the faculty at MSU, she would not have been able to do so. We look forward to continued collaboration with Jodie. KAYON Hall. KAYON's work combines intellectual, humanistic, and personal features to help the higher education community understand and better serve undocumented students on our campuses. Specifically, through a series of humanized, in-depth interviews and relationship-building activities, KAYON highlighted the presence, experiences, and wisdom of 4 young, undocumented Black persons trying to make it through contemporary higher education. It is without a doubt that KAYON's work will impact the practice, policy, and programming amongst the higher education and student affairs community. KAYON approaches life just as she does her scholarship, full of heart, courage, and thought. She can make you laugh as hard as she makes you think. Accordingly, any person who has the opportunity to meet and build community with KAYON is better for it. She would like to thank God, her family, and her advisor, Dr. Leslie Gonzalez. SOHYEON Bae. SOHYEON has distinguished herself as a scholar practitioner, exploring the internationalization of higher education for the past 10 years. During her PhD study at MSU, SOHYEON made special efforts to expand her knowledge and perspectives on understanding the globalized world and providing meaningful global experiences for students. In her dissertation, SOHYEON examines how universities react to global and national university rankings using a glonical agency heuristic. Different from previous studies on rankings that tend to remain rather macro at the national level, SOHYEON's dissertation will make a unique and significant contribution with its focus on institutional interpretations of rankings shaped by global, national, and local settings. SOHYEON has become an accomplished researcher with several publications, and we have confidence in her continuing success. She is planning to work in the field of higher education administration in South Korea. She would like to thank her advisor, the Hale faculty and colleagues, and her family and friends. Stephanie Aguilar-Smith. Stephanie successfully defended her dissertation, which is one of the first empirical analyses to qualitatively examine Title V. Her study expands existing research by highlighting equity-laden issues for this federal program and offering important recommendations to address existing problems. While at MSU, Stephanie contributed as a thoughtful scholar, a committed teacher, a caring mentor, and a dedicated community member. She will be joining the faculty at the University of North Texas as a tenure-track assistant professor this fall, where she will continue her brilliant career as a higher education scholar. She says, "I come from a lot of people, and my chosen family is even bigger. I thank them all." Felicidades, Doctora. Robert M. SERMAK. Bob has a clear commitment to the importance of liberal arts education and looking beyond U.S. borders to learn about higher education in the world. People might say it was good luck that Bob made his way to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, UNN, to study the complexities of liberal education in a post-colonial context. But it was also due to Bob's hard work, open mind, and creativity. His dissertation represents an ambitious intellectual project that contributes internationally to the study of higher education, liberal education curriculum, and the long history of MSU's partnership with UNN. Through cross-country adventures to obtain a visa, an emergency airport closure in Nigeria, and a pandemic, Bob kept his eye on his North Star and is set to continue on this path. He would like to thank his committee members, his parents, Matt and Kate, and everyone at MSU and UNN who made his research a success. SAPNA NAIK. SAPNA has been an outstanding member of the Hale community. Her participation has been deep and broad. She has worked on research teams studying college student engagement in South Africa and LGBTQ college student success. In her dissertation, SAPNA demonstrates the characteristics of intellectual excellence and deep care that are her hallmarks. Her study of women of color international graduate students and their experiences and perception of safety and violence speaks to SAPNA's abiding commitment to creating a more just, humane, and inclusive society. SAPNA says, "The PhD process was challenging and happened with a lot of life during these past 8 years. I have my advisor, committee members, professors, classmates, and friends to thank for lifting me up and getting me to the end." SCOTTY M. SECRIST. SCOTTY came to MSU committed to exploration of important questions related to college students and making higher education more equitable and humane. A particular concern for underrepresented students drives Scotty's academic and professional achievements. To this end, Scotty returned to full-time professional practice while writing a dissertation that examined the development of identity-conscious support for college student success. Scotty currently works at MSU as a neighborhood director for student success. Scotty would like to thank Drs. Kristen Wren, Patricia Marin, Marilyn Amy, Mark Largent, and Janine Royal, and Jeff, Sherry, Ryan, Kevin, and Kyle SECRIST. Scotty adds, quoting Foucault, "I can't help but dream about a kind of criticism that would not try to judge, but bring an oeuvre, a book, a sentence, an idea to life. It would light fires, watch the grass grow, listen to the wind, and catch the sea foam in the breeze and scatter it. It would multiply, not judgments, but signs of existence. It would summon them, drag them from their sleep." Charles Jackson III. Charles's dissertation really opens our eyes to the lived experiences of Black male non-traditional students in predominantly white universities. Grounded in an Afrocentric perspective, he illuminates the way they make meaning of their post-secondary experience. Amidst a number of challenges, Charles has stood tall and persisted with his doctoral journey. His advisor, Riyad Shah Jahan, has been inspired by his resilience and tenacity to finish. Charles has grown to be more confident in his scholarly voice and articulating his ideas. He has a thirst for storytelling and sharing Black males' experiences with all its nuances. Charles would like to thank God, Mom, and Dad, R.I.P., his brother Mike, daughter Charla, and son Donovan, his Samuels and Jackson, and those who are no longer with us, his extended family members, his program colleagues and professors, and his friends who supported him. Charles will continue working within higher education administration. Jake Lemon. During Jake's time at MSU, he served as project manager of the National Peer Educator Study, which explores the student learning outcomes of college students who are selected and trained to provide guidance and educational programming to peers. He serves on a national advisory board focused on health and wellness initiatives for university students. He has co-authored articles in the Journal of Student Affairs and Research, co-authored a book chapter, produced hundreds of National Peer Educator Study institutional reports, and has over a dozen peer-reviewed conference presentations. His dissertation research explores the intersectionality of academic socialization, adult learning, curriculum and pedagogy, and interpersonal development. This groundbreaking research has laid the foundation for future studies that explore graduate education abroad experiences. Jake plans to pursue a faculty or postdoc position in higher education. He would like to thank his advisor, Dr. Matt Warzinski, his committee members, and his family, especially his wife, Lida Momeni. Next, we recognize candidates from the PhD program in K-12 Educational Administration. Brianna Cherisse Coleman. Brianna's dissertation, Reimagining School Spaces, Positioning Students as Stakeholders in School Community Partnerships, is a beautiful tribute to the knowledge students bring to school leadership and policy. The team at CASEL, the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, where Brianna will soon begin as a research associate, will surely benefit from this work. Brianna would like to extend her appreciation to her amazing support network, which includes a host of family and friends. In her words, "This journey was not easy, but it was completely and totally worth it. I feel that I have grown so much through this process as a person, scholar, and practitioner. This degree is for me, but also for those who helped me get to this point and who I will now help in the work that I will do." Alonzo Antonio Gilzan. Alonzo's research on school leaders' use of external partnerships is critical, compelling, and of impeccable quality. But it is his heart that is most exceptional and will serve him well as an assistant professor at Florida State University. Alonzo writes, I am extremely grateful to every single person who has invested in me and contributed to my journey. People who surrounded me in love and support, people who provided guidance, people who challenged me to think deeply and consider differing viewpoints, people who were better than me or more developed in their faith, advocacy, and commitments to justice, who provide examples for me to follow. My success and experience would have been impossible without the teachers, mentors, friends, allies, co-conspirators, dreamers, counselors, and giants on whose shoulders I stand. All of those things are the only reason I am here today. He would especially like to thank his family.
Wow, I am always so impressed by the accomplishments of our graduate students. As we have continued to experience the effects of a global pandemic, your contributions as scholars, teachers, and community members have been especially outstanding. I'm Christine Bowman, Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs in the College of Education. Congratulations on earning your doctoral degree, the highest achievement in your educational journey from the College of Education at MSU. We honor your commitments to expanding knowledge, to improving teaching and learning, and to transforming policy and practice in ways that promote health, equity, well-being, and justice. We can't wait to see how you will continue making an impact during the next chapters in your careers. But first, we pause once more to thank those who have supported you along the way. First, we thank and recognize your faculty members. These individuals have encouraged and guided you through important challenges. We also thank your family and friends, and as well as your colleagues, who have cheered you on and made countless sacrifices leading up to this point. Now, you are a part of the Spartan alumni family. We hope that you will stay connected to the College of Education as you carry forth in your professional careers and represent us so well throughout the world. Thank you and congratulations. Go Green.